What do you think the top three things are going to be as far as 2024 session, which is going to be 4 long months, by the way?
And Paul, you asked for top three. We talked about healthcare. We talked about PERS. The other one is, as I keep talking about election year, but as folks have been knocking on doors and candidate forums and seeing their voters and folks, the other thing that is really finally come to the forefront is a real, y'all like to call it school choice. I call it parent choice. We're fixing to have a real debate, discussion, and legislation that gives parents in Mississippi, and we may have to start in failing school districts and DNF districts, but they're fixing to have a real choice to have some sort of ESA, an education savings account, to take that money, the state share of the cost per student, take that money and
I think
go
it's
somewhere
number
else.
one. I'd put that at number one. I really would.
It is its time has finally come, and look, I almost wish we were going into session, next week in October, because it is fresh on my colleagues' minds as they've campaigned around the state.
Did you, more and more people want this, because we have to get over the notion that it's going to be counterproductive to racism or something like that. Because the people who are going to be able to partake in this are going to be in the areas of the state that are the most downtrodden.
Absolutely, they are.
And then we have people on the air who say things like, well, it wouldn't work in my county. Well, big deal. That doesn't mean it should not be tried somewhere, somehow.
That's exactly right. Well, look, here's what we first, whether anybody wants to admit it or not, we have to realize that in certain school districts in certain parts of our state, they're chronically failing schools. And so you can't tell me what we're doing is working. Now, the argument of lack of funding, that's all we need is more money. I think we've put our money where our mouth is on that topic, and we have funded schools. Now, you can go back 20 years and say, oh, yeah, but you hadn't for this long period of time. Well, we are now, and we're ready to look at other alternatives. And parents, frankly, are demanding it.
I had a story last week. It was another state. I forgot what it was. I tweeted it out. Another state has just done that. And I forget which one it was.
Well,
do you know?
Arkansas is the big one. We spent some time last week with one of their state senators who really was the driving force behind that bill. You should have her on this program one day. She is, boy, to hear her story and the way that they got that bill through Arkansas legislatures is
I know
pretty interesting.
Governor Sanders, Huckabee Sanders, is all in for it. But there was another state that just okayed that. And I forgot what it was. But this happened just a couple of weeks ago.
There are lots of them. And it's happening around us, and it's time for us.
I agree with you 100%. If you are going to break the stranglehold of poverty in this state, I think that's one of the best ways to do it. It's just a better education, period, and school choice. Because there are a lot of parents out there who are demanding it now more than ever before. Jason, thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. And thanks for coming in.